was doing a little bit of research independent from Islam just to see if we actually do have a creator that has fashioned us. The thing that I was living by was that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. That's the first law of thermodynamics, and everyone knows that one. And actually, that's the kind of thinking that made me think maybe we are all God. Maybe every human being, every living thing is God, and we're all just exploring God. So that really kind of did make some sense to me, because if we're all God, then so many questions started to pile up on top of that. Like, where did we truly come from? Are we going to live forever? What if bad things happen? Should I feel the burden of pain if something bad happens to me or somebody else? And also, if we're all God, isn't that a limitation to what God is? Because we're obviously not infinite. We have a start. If God has a start, is he truly God? Then what created that thing? So all these questions were coming at me left and right, and I truly didn't have any true purpose. I didn't know exactly what my actual faith was. I was trying to just figure it out, and I would actually cry myself to sleep so many nights. It was a really, really weird and strange time. Like, I would look at the most basic things, like a tree, for an example, and it would freak me out knowing, like, how could this thing be in such perfect order that it came from a little small seed and now it's this extremely heavy and very, very tall, perfectly ordained tree? How can something like this happen? Or I would look at myself in my hands and think, like, how am I actually alive right now, in control of my own thoughts? Where was I before this life, and where am I going to be after this life? And those questions, like not having a pure belief in it, it really kind of made my whole life very unstable, and I never truly knew what was going to happen to me next. I never knew how to deal with any of my real situations. But then when I looked into deeper of the thermodynamics, we have the second law, which states that entropy will continue to increase in energy. So disorder will continue to increase. So with that type of thinking, you realize that eventually, in a very long time, the entire universe will have so much entropy, so much disorder, that it cannot sustain life and it'll be practically dead. And when I really realized that, I realized, okay, there has to be something that is beyond this, that is truly ever living. There has to be a Hayyul Qayyum, right? From that, we can realize that if the universe has an end, if anything has an end, then it has to have a beginning. And if something has a beginning, then it has to have a creator. This is why God is God, because God doesn't have a beginning or an end. God created the concept of creation, so we can't even hold him to it. Diving deeper into that, I realized that God has to, for one, not be bound by time and space and matter. He can't be hold down to these principles. He has to be above entropy, so he has to be above disorder, where he's not going to eventually get weak the same way that the universe is. He has to be self-sustaining, and that's exactly what Islam teaches.